Hey everybody, it's Michael from Replica Airguns with another field test shooting video here in the CCAN, the Airgun Indoor Shooting Range here. And I've got two G&G pistols. I have the TR and the MK1. These are gas blowback airsoft pistols, and they shoot 6mm plastic airsoft BBs. Check out, I have tabletop video reviews for both of these pistols. I'll put links in the description for those guns, or for these guns. And we're gonna test them out on the Chronograph here. They should shoot almost identically because they are very similar guns, as I've explained in my tabletop videos, other than the rail mount on the TR version that you can take off, but it's slightly different. So the guns are almost identical. I just happen to have two different finishes. I've got the dual tone and then the all black. But I wanted to shoot them together just to see if they perform the same. They should be very, very close. We're gonna do chronograph, then we're gonna put 10 shots on the target. I am using 0.25 gram airsoft BBs. I find they work pretty good. So we can get a little bit faster readings if we were using 0.20 gram, but this should give us a good idea if we're in that ballpark at least. Okay, so we're gonna put 5 shots. 293, 292, 290, 290, 289. We'll do one more. I'm not sure how many shots I've done, but we'll do one more. 287, so we're all really close to 290. Again, these are 0.25 gram. You should be able to get a little bit faster or higher, quicker shots, higher FPS with the lighter BB, up and over 300, I would imagine. Not really in the 350s, which is what I was expecting, but we got to go with what we got to go here. It's not exactly the warmest shooting conditions, but where I am right now, these guns have been in at least room temperature environment for a while, so they're warm enough. Here we go. So we got the TR, the first one was the MK1. We're going to shoot the TR now. 250. 254. 260. Interesting. 259. 261. I'm just going to do something just for fun. See if maybe the valve makes a bit of a difference. The magazine. Yeah, interesting. So, same gun, all I did is I just changed up the magazine. So, that goes to show you that it's not always the gun, it can be the valve in the magazine. How much gas or CO2, depending on what you're using for your propellant, how quickly and how the valve is set up, with the spring set up. So if it's letting out more gas or less gas, you're gonna get faster, slower FPS. But if it is going a bit slower, because it's letting out more gas or less gas, you're gonna have a little bit less cool down, you're gonna have more shots per CO2, it's gonna be more gas efficient. But those are the specs. I can't remember which one's which now, it doesn't really matter. I've taken them out and confused it all, but we're gonna put them back in the guns and we're gonna shoot 10 rounds on a paper target to see what kind of accuracy we get. Got a brand new paper target set up, 30 feet down range. Let's get right to it. We're gonna shoot both of these guns. So I've got 2 guns I wanna shoot, so let's get right to it. These are live, ready to go. They've already been, the slide's been pulled back for the chrony testing, so we don't have to do that. We're all ready to go. Safeties are off. Okay, here we go. Let's see what I can do here in terms of performance. I haven't adjusted anything, hop up or anything, so we're just gonna see how we do. Okay, slide didn't lock back because I got more rounds than I needed. Let's take a quick look. Okay, it shoots a little left. Pretty well centered though, up and down. Not a bad grouping. Almost 1.5 inches. We had a little bit of a flyer here, but we got 1.5 inches from here to here, 1.5 inches from there to there. Pretty decent, actually, overall. Just needs to come over a little to the right. These sights, as far as I know, are not adjustable for windage. Possibly, maybe you could, it does have a little tiny Allen key here. So maybe I could move it a little bit over if I just reset it, but I'm not sure. The sights do look like they are removable, so they could be maybe slightly repositioned a little left or right. Haven't tried it though, can't say specifically if that is the case. All right, let's take a look. We're gonna shoot the second gun here. That was the MK1, and we're gonna try out the TR and see if we get similar results. I'm expecting pretty close, although the FPS was very different. So here we go, 10 rounds. All right. We're getting some weird noises about downrange there. Where were we? Oh, a little bit better. Centering was better. It's definitely better centered left to right, and up and down is pretty much the same, but the groupings did come out a little bit more. This one was more like 2 to 2.5. If you take this flyer out, it's 2. If you take, if you sort of go with this grouping, it's again 1.5 inches. So, some of it's me a little bit. I think I had the hotter mag in this gun, so I switched them around. I don't think it really makes that much of a difference in terms of the accuracy, hotter mag. As long as it's consistent in terms of FPS throughout the 10 shots, that shouldn't change the elevation too much. I don't think that was the problem. I just think, could have been just me. I've already had a coffee this morning. I am just shooting with my hands rested on a sandbag and sitting in the back. So it's not like the perfect situation. There's human factors involved. But I would say, if I switch these guns around, did it again, I might get the exact opposite results and maybe better with this, better with that. I don't think it's really, I think it's more me is what I'm trying to say. But both of these guns, I really like them. It's got the partial slide blowback, but it's definitely enough to give you that simulated recoil. Really snappy, blowback action. It feels really good. I just love the weight and feel of these guns. They just feel really good in the hand, overall balance. The grips aren't too wide or too big. The trigger is really nice on these guns. I highly recommend these guns. I think they look really cool. If you kind of like the Glock look, but you maybe want something a little bit more unique that isn't as typical as, everyone's got a Glock, right? This is kind of Glock-like if you're used to shooting a Glock, but a little different too. It's got its own unique characteristics and look and feel to it. But, it might even work in a Glock holster if it's a generic holster, Glock holster. Really good guns. I do highly recommend them. I was expecting a little more FPS, to be honest. Again, it's not super hot in here. I am just using propane gas. I did have full propane before I did shoot these guns, just so you know. Again, check out my tabletop videos for both these guns. Also check out the written review over at replicairguns.com. I got written reviews, additional photos there. And of course, links in the description to buy in our Canada store at replicairguns.ca. So check out the links in the description. All right, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Check us out on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Until next time, take care.